I feel much better than yesterday. After that whole cigarette thing, my day turned around. And you know what's funny is like I was expecting that to happen. I was expecting it to work out like that. Not to the detail, but something in my head before I went out recording yesterday. Before I went out, like I had checked my bank account and noticed that holding fee was like 3 days old. But something told me that it was going to clear itself up before the end of the day. So I was really pleased to see that it did exactly the way that it did. Because after I got home, my entire day just shifted. Well, I think my entire day shifted as soon as that happened, but once I got home, once I turned this thing off and I was by myself, I was all fucking smiles and fucking dancing around. I didn't really dance, but I did write about it. Because even though, like, if you watch it, if you watch through that entire video to how that whole scene escalated, and then how it all came together at the end, like, from my perspective, that was divine timing, divine intervention at its fucking finest. Son of a bitch. I fucking run. Not fucking standing there again. Fire. No, but that was like one of those moments, at least for me, doing what I do for a living. Like, for me, that was just one of those, like, what the fuck? Of course this would happen right now. Good fucking thing you record everything. Well, the key component to that and why it's so important and why I'm putting so much emphasis on it is that when it comes to doing what I do, I rely solely on intuition. I let my feelings tell me when it's time to act. Like, if I don't feel right about something, I don't do it. If I feel right about something, I'm more encouraged to do it. That doesn't mean it's easy. Doesn't mean I'm always gonna do it. Because there's some shit that's like I gotta push myself hard enough to really push my own boundaries to a point where like, it feels like I put my fucking nervous system in a frying pan. So it just happens to be that through different development techniques that I modified for myself, experiments like what I'm doing, because that's what it is. It's an experiment. Magic, what makes magic real is the scientific method, by the way. Like, you have to actually do experiments and come up with theories and figure out how the fuck things work on your own. Because this is you gotta consider that this is like a lot of like really uncharted territory, because a lot of this stuff is like really old, said to be. When I take into consideration the story of my ancestors and what they went through, in order for the world to be exactly the way that it is right now, the more I work with it, the more I work with magic, the more I go, the fuck am I listening to this guy for? Why am I listening to this skeptic who clearly hasn't done the work that I've done? And yeah, you know what? It's unfortunate that he can't see what I'm seeing. Where is he? Because maybe if he could see what I'm seeing, this motherfucker might want to burn me at the stake. Which, when elected your president, I promise to make America a safe haven for witches. Because did you know that witches still get burnt at the stake today? In the apocryphal Gospels, there's a book called the Gospel of Judas. And in that Gospel of Judas, it tells the story, the behind-the-scenes story of, was it Passover or was it Easter? I forget. No, there was no Easter. Well, it was before the church. Oh, these were the events that led up to Easter. What the fuck am I talking about? The Final Supper. Because this was when Jesus asked Judas to go and get the Romans. After a really deep discussion between the two of them, where Judas confesses to Jesus that he had a vision. And the vision that he had was that the other 11 apostles, that they were going to go off and start a church in the name of Jesus. And that church would go on to do many, many atrocities and even demonize him, Judas. To which Jesus explains to him, these guys don't know. They don't get it. That's why I'm telling you all this shit. Because they can't grasp it where they're at mentally, consciously. They can't accept the deeper truths of what I'm trying to explain to you, which is that thing that they're all out there worshiping right now at the dinner table, it's not what they think it is. They have good intentions, but you and me are not like them, and you are not like me. But my time in this physical vessel is up. So what I need you to do is go get those Romans for me, because I got other shit I gotta take care of, and I can't do it while I'm in this body. And unfortunately, my friend, you're usually gonna have to take one for the team. Now, interesting thing about the Gospel of Judas, a lot of people kind of think it's horseshit, but they think it's horseshit because it was like, it's dated to like the 2nd century or 3rd century, something like that. But I think the fact that it even exists, because it was found, it's said to have been found in that same area with the Dead Sea Scrolls. So, or maybe it was in Nagamati. I don't know which one it was, but hey, just because it was written after the fact doesn't mean it didn't happen. And just because it's dated at the 2nd century doesn't mean that they're right, or 3rd, whatever it is. Human technology is still kind of like in the Stone Ages. But at the same time, it does paint a picture, an alternative picture to go, okay, all right, well, I see that. That actually makes a lot more sense than the official version, but maybe that's why people discredit it, because it does actually make sense. Now, there was actually this really interesting thing that my father had told me about, like, before he died. He died in 2015, but before he got sick, I don't know where this came from. He and I wasn't in the mental space to really dig into what he was trying to explain to me. But I got it. Like I remember it. And what he was telling me was he's like, do not tell your grandmother about this. My grandmother was a very devout Christian, so after her husband died, when my father was 14, she raised him single for the rest of her life. And by this point, she was probably about 95. And she spent a good 30, maybe 40 years in her church as one of the donation counters. Plus, her favorite nephew was a priest. So that shit's kind of in my blood. My mom's side is more the witch side. I mean, both sides of my family come from Lacedonia in Italy. So the way I look at it is I have kind of both sides. Well, like I said, like my mom's side's more like where the witchcraft comes from. My father's side is more where the theosophy comes from. And they make a really pretty picture. And once I had gotten into the occult, studying the occult, like that added a whole different layer to it, because it's not that I used to say I was an open-minded atheist, but to be perfectly honest, it was more agnostic, if anything, if you want to really fucking split hairs about it. Because my father said something to me that stuck with me. He said it to me and my sister. One of us we were frustrated over something. We're like, Jesus Christ. And he said, listen, I'm not a religious man, but be careful whose name you take in vain, because you never know who's listening. My father had a mystical side to him, again, that I didn't really get a chance to explore very much until posthumous. But he had dropped clues over the years, now that I can look back on it, considering where I am in my own spiritual journey. Like, I can look back at those conversations that he and I used to have and go, oh, shit. Holy shit. What else did he know that I didn't know? Because that makes a lot more sense now. So does that. And so does that. Oh, fuck. Who the fuck was this guy? It was funny. My mother told me. Remember, we were taking a ride up to my old house, my condo, and it wasn't a house, it was a condo. I'm a stickler for detail, also. But I remember we were driving, and just suddenly out of the blue, she just said, "You know, your father was Satan, right? Like, he was actually Satan." And what caught me as peculiar about her saying that was I had just been thinking the same thing. Maybe a week or two prior, I started to equate my father's spirit with Mephistopheles. But I have good reason. But I remember before he died, or when he got sick, rather, maybe like a couple months, 6 months before he got sick, he brought this thing up to me. This book that he was reading. He's like, "Don't even tell your grandmother about this, because she'll fucking lose her shit." But I don't know, I'm reading this book, and it's talking about how Jesus didn't really die on the cross. That it was actually some other guy, and then Jesus escaped and then had kids with Mary Magdalene. Which, at the time, I don't know what I thought about it. Like, I don't know, try to think back. What did I think about that? I don't know. Part of me feels like, considering where I was in my own path, because I hated God. I did my first satanic ritual when I was fucking 12. But I don't know if I try to put myself back, because I remember exactly where I was sitting when we were in my kitchen in my home, and he told me about it. What was I thinking? I might have been a little bit drunk. Maybe the first words coming to mind is I'm seeing myself going, yeah, I can see that. I wouldn't doubt that. Now, it wouldn't be until like another, well, he's been dead for 8 years. Maybe another, yeah, I'd say 2, maybe 3 years after he died, where I started to like find myself down this path of the occult and mysticism and spirituality, where eventually those concepts were actually literally like tossed at me. Holy shit, I remember my father telling me about this. Now, it's not very often, I don't think I've ever heard that particular version of the story. I mean, I've heard about Mary being the 13th apostle. I mean, there is the Gospel of Mary, which is pretty good. But it would be a while before I'd hear the theory about someone dying in Jesus' name. And when it happened it was because of this, actually, what I'm doing now. I used to record a lot from 2019 to 2020, I think it was, or maybe leading into 2020, maybe for 2019. And a friend of mine would watch these. A friend of mine, Tim. And I had this idea one day. There was these 2 tarot decks that I wanted, that I had found online, and I didn't have any income at the time, so the only thing I could think of was like, I had this thought that came to me, which was, all right, just throw it out there. Words are magic. That's why it's called spelling. All right, let's put this theory to the test. So in this video that I made, I talked about like, just in case it's gonna be my birthday in about a month, if anybody wants to get me a birthday present, these are 2 things I really, really want. And my boy hit me up a couple hours later, maybe the next day, and he said, yo, I'll get you that 1 deck. All right. Word up. We don't have like a physical friendship, as in we don't see each other. We live in different states. We're internet friends. But the point is, by throwing the attention out there, by putting the intention out there, it caught the attention of exactly who needed to see it, exactly when they needed to see it. Which is one of the principles behind reading tarot cards. Or any other kind of magical operation or spiritual practice, is to recognize that you're always going to be in the right place at the right time to do and say and hear and think what you need to hear and say and think in order to get through whatever it is that you're going through, so that you can move on to the next phase of your glorious, amazing, fucking magical life. As a little bit of a bigger concept for fucking some people, understandably so, because I know that for me to even get to that point, I've essentially, like, if we talk in human terms, I've been unemployed living in my mother's spare room for the past 5 years, going on 5 years, so about 4.5 years. So I've had a lot of time to reflect and think about the things that I do and say and practice and live by. So I consider myself a little bit of an expert on the occult and magical things. I talk to dragons too, and trees. Because trees are dragons. They're part of dragons, so they hear and they think. It's like an octopus. You know, an octopus, like each tentacle is doing its own thing. It's like got a mind of its own. Same thing. See, but the thing, but here's where the issue gets into like, what the fuck are you talking about? See, I say dragon, and what you're thinking of is you're thinking of a flying lizard that breathes fire from its mouth, or a lion-headed dragon from a Chinese or Asian fucking parade, or you're thinking about some South American dragon, or maybe even a Komodo dragon. So the idea, when I say dragon, like you already have, like, assumptions of what it is that you think I mean. But in reality, what you don't know is that you're wrong. Not entirely. You're not entirely right. Put it like that. A dragon is more of a concept, it's more of a thought form, it's more of like a non-human entity that's like almost amorphous. I'm not saying dragons don't have wings or fly around and spit fire and have super dragon scales. There's stories of dragons all over the place, which is why, all throughout history, which is why when I say dragon, like you have a very specific idea. Not everybody's gonna have the same idea, but for the most part, I mean, even like I say dragon, Dracula just popped in my head. Vlad the Impaler, and the Order of the Dragon, that just popped in my mind. So yeah, sometimes there are other different ways to look at dragons. But if you think of a dragon as just like a huge fucking entity that's not human, that hoards fucking wisdom. Dragon's treasures, yeah, they're just gold. But what they gotta break it down into like metaphorical sense. Like gold is wisdom. It's like enlightenment. These dragons, they're sitting on a boatload of wisdom. It's an entity that hoards wisdom, or at least hoards it because there's no one to give it to. Because dragons don't like humans. This is like rule number 1 in dragon magic. Dragons don't like you. Why don't they like you? Why don't they like humans? Well, I don't know. Trying to think of all those times of like when dragons were fucking slain by humans. I don't know, the story of Fafnir and Sigurd. Not only did fucking Sigurd slay the dragon, he then drank the dragon's dead blood. Why would you want to do that? Magic powers, duh. Because as soon as Sigurd drank Fafnir's blood, he learned to hear the language of birds. Meaning he got magical powers that other people couldn't do. Because not everybody had the balls to go slay a fucking dragon and then drink that motherfucker's blood like it was fucking fine wine. That's gonna put you in a completely different type of headspace than other people. I know. But when it comes to this type of work, like you gotta fucking take your brain out of wherever the fuck it is that your brain's at. You gotta take your brain out of the toilet and then scrub that motherfucker down. And like Yoda said to Luke, you gotta unlearn all that bullshit that you learned. I'm not saying it's 100% bullshit, but there's at least 50%, there's at least 0.002% bullshit mixed up into all the truths that you know. Why is that even significant? That's such a minuscule number. All right, now let's take away everything that you're right about. Let's take away the other 99.998% of things that you are so sure about that you can't possibly be wrong. And now what do we have? 100% bullshit. And then it's just a matter of being able to face it and go, yeah, most everything I know could be bullshit and I don't even know it. That's why it's good to have an open mind. That's why when I used to say I was an open-minded atheist, I meant I was an open-minded atheist, as in I was open-minded to the potential that I was wrong. But I hated God so much, I refused to believe in it. Because how could that sick motherfucker allow all this bullshit be my life? Because I fucking hate being alive. This is the worst thing ever. I understand why Jesus wanted to fucking die so bad and why he wanted to die in the most excruciating and painful way that he could think of. Now, mind you, that is not the most gruesome and painful way to go. I'll refer your attention to the toasted pincushion. That is a fucking immortal's nightmare. What's toasted pincushion? Well, that's when you're burnt at the stake. But because you're immortal, you can't die. So now your body's just covered in third-degree burns. Your fingers are melted, your your teeth are melted. Third and fourth degree burns all over your body. And you're forced to suffer that for the rest of eternity. Now, that's just the beginning. Because the reality is so much worse. Now, here come the psychopaths. Demons, we'll call them. And they're not empty-handed either. They brought tools with them. And those tools, they're tearing fucking holes all over your body. Ah. They're not done yet. Oh God, no, they're not done yet. No. That's when they take their demon dicks and they start fucking the holes that just ripped into your burnt, charred, fucking turkey burger flesh. And once there's no more room for new fuckholes, they just go to town. And they don't ever stop either. And there you are, a burnt little fucking husk, getting fucked from every fucking direction, known and unknown, by a raving pack of fucking demons that are laughing, giggling, and high-fiving while you're just covered in shit, piss, demon cum, and blood for eternity, because your suffering is the generator of the entire universe's life force. And if those demons stop raping your fucking charred body like a fucking toasted pincushion, everything dies. How the fuck is that? Last time I showed that one to Jesus, he fucking blushed. I'll take another 2,000 years on this cross. This motherfucker. Yeah, I bet you would. That's torture, by the way. I talk to spirits. I'm sensitive to spirits, and I do talk to Jesus' spirit when I go to church. And that dude's been hanging on that cross. People say, Jesus isn't hanging on the cross. Yeah, go tell that to Jesus. Go to your local parish, and then look up at Jesus hanging up on the wall, and let him know that he's not hanging on a cross. Guy's been fucking hanging there for 2,000 years with wounds that won't ever close. Jesus Christ. What do you think? Let me ask you a question. This is something like I want to ask an atheist person. What you don't believe in God, right? Do you think God might have taken a little bit of offense to the fact that his one emissary that he sent to fucking Earth was fucking mutilated, publicly named and shamed, whipped and beaten, and forced to carry a fucking cross up a goddamn hill where his hands and feet were nailed? Oh my God. I hate even imagining that because I can feel it. And then while you're hanging there, just to add insult to injury, this dickhead over here decides to fucking stab you in the side in a fucking spear, dude. The fuck? Come on, man. I got this fucking thing on my head, which is fucking driving me nuts. My fucking body is fucking killing me. These assholes just fucking drove fucking railroad stakes through my fucking hand so I can't fucking fall off this cocksucker, and you just fucking stab me in the fucking side, dickhead. The fuck? The fuck is wrong with you people? Like, all I was trying to do I get it. You can't take a shit in somebody's hat and expect them not to get pissed off over it. I get it. But still, come on, man. I know you're trying to send a message, but fuck. Maybe fucking short and sweet is something that you motherfuckers need to put in your fucking, in your lexicon. Holy shit. And 3 days of that shit? Come on, man. And then you're gonna stick my ass on the walls everywhere? I'm just gonna have to fucking hang here for 2,000 years. I can't even, my physical body isn't even gonna last. Oh my God. I am so fucking sorry that I fucking did this. Yeah, Father, forgive them for they know not what they do. But fucking forgive me too, asshole. Holy shit, man. Like, this is fucking killing me. So yeah, maybe God took a little bit of offense to that. And went, oh, you know what? These cocksuckers, they don't give a fuck. Hey, you don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. I'm out. I'm gonna go do something. I'm gonna go do something cooler. Let you guys wipe your own asses for a little bit. I just fucking gave you all the answers, and you just took a shit on them. You literally wiped your ass with it. I gave you the answer to everything you have been fucking begging for, you goddamn peasants. And you fucking used it like a fucking bumbleclap. The fuck is wrong with you? And then you're gonna get pissed off because I don't fucking wipe your asses? Are you out of your goddamn mind? Come on now. Go fucking take a look in the mirror, jerk elf. Yeah, I have the power to fucking stop all types of evil, but you know what? You motherfuckers brought that shit all up on yourself. So now go indulge. And whence I think your suffering is equal to that of my boy, then I'll put you all out of your fucking misery. How about that? We'll do another flood. Or how about this? We'll start a world war. A really scary one too, that's nice and drawn out. This way I can get every fucking delicious fucking dribble of misery and fear out of you people. Because I can't fucking rely on you to show me a little bit of praise. But I'm not gonna motherfucking lie, that fear is fucking delicious. And the shame and guilt that I'm fucking sucking off of those other fucking jabronis that come to church every Sunday, delicious. Delicious. Bring all of your suffering unto me, you miserable cunts. You should fucking bite your tongues out. You shouldn't even be able to fucking say my name. Bite your tongues off and fucking gouge out your own eyes like Odin. This time go for both. And then take turns being the fucking toasted pincushions. Oh, trust me, when the next avatar presents itself, I guarantee you, he's going to look at what Jesus did and didn't do, and then go, all right, going down that route, you get stuck like a fucking pincushion. Go this way, and you get to take over the world? Alrighty, Satan, you just guide the way, my friend. Listen, the God of Christ may be deaf, but I assure you, just based on my own personal experience, that he who sits on high and he who is thrown down below, and they're divine partners. Has a very open ear to Israelites. It's a race thing. It's in the blood. You see it or you don't. And if you can, it comes in varying degrees. The ones who don't, those are what we call demons. No soul, a husk. In Jewish mysticism, we call them the Qliphoth. It's a Hebrew word, it means husk. They live in the realm of demons and archdemons. Think of it like a corporation. Have you ever heard about how the United States government is satanic? Yeah, it is. Because what is Satanism? Satanism is taking God out of your life, spirit out of your life. It's a spiritless thing. The American spirit. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about divine. The separation of church and state. You don't need church to have a God, to believe in a God or a goddess. See, in witchcraft, many of my contemporaries, they'll use it, thank goddess. Thank goddess. They wouldn't even use God's name. Yeah, but Wicca's a religion. I'm not talking about just Wiccans. I ain't just talking about that. Just like Asian people, there's fucking different degrees to gold. Witchery is not just Wicca. Some of us are actually born with it in our blood. See, you don't know that because it's all make-believe, woo-woo, bullshit talk with myths and legends. All right, well, you know, one person's myths and legends is another person's history, so Spricken's a dick. Nah, slavery never happened. Now, homophobia is not a thing. LGBTIQs and Zs. There's no need for that. There's no need for Black Lives Matter. Them ignorant motherfuckers. That's for goddamn sure. You know, I say this with all genuinity, all authenticity. I genuinely mean it when I say that ever since coming out as a witch ancestor, descendant, like I have never felt so much persecution about just the tiniest little fucking things. Because it taught me how to take my religion seriously. I mean my religion because it's mine. I don't follow somebody else's book, I follow mine. I let God and Goddess define themselves to me. I have to go seeking the answers, but in doing so, they reveal themselves to me, whence I have the capacity to grasp the next layer of the mystery. It's not a one-shot thing. It's not, oh, okay, I believe that today. No, it's like, yo, motherfucker, I put a lot of motherfucking work into this. I don't need to fucking convince nobody. I'm just talking to hear myself fucking talk. And to clear my motherfucking chakras so that I can fucking allow the energy to flow a little bit more crisply so that I can come up with some fucking new ideas so that I can go back home and do some other shit. That's a lot cooler than this. This is kind of cool though. I know, I'm not saying it's not. Well, it's different, a different kind of cool. Because science. Magic is science. It's not science, people, it's magic. And there's methodologies and operations that go into doing some of these incredibly impossible feats. And it requires a degree of asymmetrical thinking and abstract thinking that one borderlines on what you could call neurodivergent. Or cunt for short. And I mean that, like my father used to say, can't understand normal thinking. Cunt. I am a cunt. Because I can't understand normal thinking. I can't understand it. Like, what? Why do you want to think like that? Why are you okay, like, thinking like everybody else? Like, do you have original thoughts? You're a unique snowflake individual. What makes you unique? What gets you off? What turns you on? I'm not just talking sexually, I mean just in general. Like, what's your pleasure points? What's your pain points? What don't you like to do? What do you like to do? I mean, we've been at this for fucking how long? I get off on talking about myself. Why? I get off on talking about myself because I'm the only person that does it. Everybody else talks about other people. Do you know the kind of probing and fucking intrusive thinking you have to do to get just a nugget, a kernel of personality out of people? And I know everybody's searching for themselves. Everybody's looking for that fucking the answer. The answer. I don't just mean that in a narcissistic way, even though I do. But say that to yourself. I'm the answer. What answers are you looking for? I'm the answer. You are your own answer. You got the answer to all the questions. Why is my life so miserable? Like, you don't need me to fucking read your tarot cards to tell you. Because you know what I know. And what I know is I'm gonna tell you the same fucking thing that you've been telling yourself for fucking years. But for some reason you're waiting for external validation. Why? What are you so afraid of? Looking like an idiot? You already do. You look at a mirror every day and you look at a fucking idiot. Tell me you have never looked at a fucking mirror and called yourself, look at this fucking idiot today. What are you doing today, dum-dum? What are you doing today, knucklehead? You dumb piece of shit? What are you doing? No, I'm talking into my phone. Wasting time when I could be going looking for a job that has a really good retirement plan and benefits. Or you can get up off your ass and figure out how to make it work for yourself. Hey, listen, my shit's not fucking pouring fucking rubies and gems from the fucking sky, but that doesn't stop me from fucking putting all my shit into my shit. There came a point in my life where I had to fucking start really asking myself the question. And it took me a lot of times asking this question before I finally came up with the fucking answer. What would my life look like if I invested as much fucking time and energy into my own dreams as this asshole's? This motherfucker's driving around in an Aston Martin. I got a 2002 fucking Honda Civic, and nigga, it's fucking 2010. Where the fuck's my fucking Aston Martin? Where the fuck's my fucking Harley? Why the fuck am I bugging the fuck out every time my wife has to go food shopping? Don't spend too much money. Make sure you bring me receipts. Well, I know why I did that. There's actually a good reason why I did that, but that's a whole other thing. Like, why do I go on this? Why am I going on this motherfucker's boat? Why the fuck is this motherfucker going on my boat? Why am I not getting blowjobs from my wife on my boat? What kind of bullshit is this? Why the fuck don't I have my own fucking business? Because you're too stupid, that's why. You're too dumb. Dumb. You got nothing to offer? You got 20 years of experience playing video games, you dipshit. You didn't even finish college. And you took 5 different majors. This is the best you're gonna get. Facts. So go home, have another drink, and hopefully this time you won't wake up. If you're lucky. Because you're too big of a pussy to fucking slice your wrist like a big boy. Or hang yourself. Or fucking drive into the telephone pole that you keep on telling yourself you're gonna drive into. Nigga, you better fucking drive into that motherfucker or stop saying it. See, but for me, and I don't know, maybe I'm just one of the lucky ones. Maybe God was so sorry for just look at yourself. Look at yourself. No, but it took my father dying, it took my aunt dying, it took my cousin dying. It took my fucking marriage falling apart. It took me having to fucking take 2 months off of drinking for the first time ever. And actually do a fucking evaluation of my life to go, what the fuck have I been doing? Holy shit. I have not been this sober for this long. This is not a good thing. The fuck do I do? And once I had that fucking wake up moment, because that was literally what happened. I woke up one day and I looked around, I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, fuck me. But it was shortly after that moment that it found me. And I say it found me because I believe it found me. What you're looking for is also looking for you. See, it just happens to be that what I found was specifically tailored for me because of the way I think, the way I act, the way I've lived, the things I've experienced. And the deeper that I went down this little fucking rabbit hole of mine, the more that I started to learn about myself and go, shit, all right. I'm not as fucked up as I thought. I'm actually more normal than I thought. Then why does everybody think I'm fucked up? Why is everybody trying to make me think I'm the fucked up one? Because the way I'm seeing it now is like there was nothing wrong with me ever. Unless that's just what everybody wanted me to believe. Why would they want me to think that? Maybe because they don't want me to think that I'm better than them? Why wouldn't they want me to think that I'm better than them? Because I'd eventually find out that I am? Why would they not want that? Which brings to mind that saying, like, misery loves company. Was everybody that miserable that they wanted to keep me miserable too? I remember a conversation I had with my ex-wife. It was one of the last conversations I had with her. I even said to her, I'm like, because we were arguing because we had been separated for a couple months, and I was going on like a really random trip that I didn't tell nobody about, including my son. And we had a little bit of a discussion about it. And I finally had said to her, I'm like, what do you want? Do you want me to be miserable like everybody else? And she said, yes. Those were her words, yes. And what that said to me was, yes, I want you to be miserable just like everybody else. I don't want you to be happy. All right. I guess I'm not sorry that this separation has taken effect. And it would seem that this would be the best thing that ever happened to me, because if the difference between happy Derek and miserable Derek is that happy Derek is actually enjoying his life, doing his best, and miserable Derek is that Derek's not enjoying his life, then that would mean that if you want me miserable, then you don't want me to enjoy my life. Why? Well, maybe because I'm not allowing you to enjoy your life as well, so. There is that. But there is a thing, karma and dharma, so. Well, I also know that there's no way I could have been a father to my son during this whole thing. I may not ever be able to be a father to my son ever again. And if that were the case, like, I've already cried enough tears and shed enough tears to go, if this is the way, then this is the way. I mean, over the years, people always tell me, like, oh, you're going to see him again. He's going to be back in your life again. I don't know. I mean, it sounds nice. But I don't think you're seeing it from the same lenses that I'm seeing it from, which is okay. I appreciate the enthusiasm, the positivity, though. No, but if I never saw him again, of course I'd be upset. I think about him every day. I mean, if I never saw him again, I mean, it would be nice to know for sure that I'm never going to see him again. This way I can take that one off put that on the back burner and go, okay. I know it's a very cold, thoughtless thing to say, but like my father's spirit told me, hey, if the kid don't like you, fuck him. That's the same attitude that my father had towards me. And I don't give a fuck if people think it's right or wrong or what, but that's the philosophy I have with him too. Don't like me? Fuck it. You don't have to. A lesson that my mother instilled in me when I was a child, which was, you have to love me because one day I'm not going to be here. I see it a little bit different than that. You don't have to like me. You don't have to be a part of my life. You could pretend that I'm dead. Because for all intents and purposes, I mean, from a certain point of view, that man that I was is dead. My boy. You didn't kill Derek Pignataro. I did. And then I resurrected him. Are you familiar with the story of Odin? It's not too dissimilar from the story of Jesus Christ, where Jesus died on the cross, hanging from the cross after he was stabbed with a spear. Odin went hard. He wasn't playing games like fucking Jesus Christ was. Like, this dude was serious. After ripping out his own fucking eyeball, because when he went to go visit Mimir's pond, he wanted to gain wisdom and insight. That's what Odin's the god of magic. Loved magic. But he had to pay a price. If you want the wisdoms from this pool, my friend, you gotta leave an offering. What are you willing to give up? And plucked out his eye. Which is why Odin wears a patch over his face, because he ripped his own fucking eyeball out. Because his give a fuck levels were at 0. And on his search for more knowledge, he found himself hanging from the fucking world tree. He hung himself. And he hung himself there for 9 motherfucking days. And it was on the 9th day that he died, which falls on April 30th. It was my brother's birthday. But what killed him was that he took a fucking spear and he stabbed himself. It wasn't like bitch like Jesus where he had to wait for somebody else to fucking do it. Odin fucking took that shit in his own fucking hands. Like, alright. We gotta fucking make some plot holes. Ah. And then that's when he died, and then he came back to life. And when he woke up again, he saw the runes. He discovered the runes laid out in front of him. The runes, the Elder Futhark runes, which is a magical language. It's called the alphabet of the gods. It's not unlike Hebrew. It reads the same way. It's a visual language. It's like a hieroglyphic. There's some controversy about them to some degree, but it depends on which standpoint you're coming from. If you're coming from it from an academic standpoint, then yeah, it's not going to make any fucking sense. But if you're coming from it from a spiritual, mystical perspective, it makes all the sense in the entire goddamn world. And not only does it make sense, like, it actually works. It works so hard that I have a ring that's inscribed with all of them. I don't know if you can see it. See, because each letter tells a story. It's almost like reading tarot cards, if you're familiar with reading tarot cards. Every letter tells a story, but each story graduates into the next one, because there's an order to how they're laid out. And if you read them in order, it tells a very specific story. And if you read it backwards, it actually tells the same story, but in reverse, which makes it make all the more sense. Because it's a ring, it's not a string. See, like, when we think of an alphabet, we think of alphanumeric strings. These are actually alphanumeric rings. And I say alphanumeric because I'm throwing Hebrew in there, because Hebrew is an alphanumeric language, alphabet, in that each letter has a sound. Now, it also has a symbolic meaning, but it also has a numeric value as well. And Hebrew math, it's called gematria. It doesn't work like arithmetic. There's only 9 numbers, but there's 22 letters, so you figure that one out. But Hebrew works the same way in that each letter tells a story, and the story progresses as you move throughout the alphabet. But once you get to the end, and I don't know how many Hebrew scholars there are, but something I just discovered on my own not too long ago. I have the notes to prove it. I have the white papers. is that the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet connects to the first letter of the alphabet, which kind of creates this ring. And that the story itself continues. It continues to evolve over time. I don't know the story in particular. I'm still learning Hebrew, but I mean, after 5 fucking years, I think I like to think I'm at least I have an advanced understanding of it compared to the average goyim. I also incorporate Israelite theosophy into my own man witchcraft. I call it a man witch because it sounds cool as fuck. Because it makes me think of a man-witch sandwich. A sandwich is a sandwich, but a man-witch is a meal. And I also spell witch with a Y to differentiate from an I. Because if you see it spelled with an I, then you automatically think of like a pretty girl in a pointy hat. But when you put a Y next to it, well, I mean, I do. But I'm not saying that there's not hags. And that's as far as I'm aware, that's an alright term to use. Hag and crone. You old crone, you old hag. I have an oracle deck. It's called a Hag's Oracle deck. It's actually a lady deck. I think it's geared more towards those of the feminine persuasion, but part of working with this type of shit is you have to be in touch with your feminine side. George Michael's Sex is playing. But in touch with your feminine side also means with your emotional side, your sensual side, your devious side, your decadent side. You kind of got to let your gay out. So I got nothing against the gays. Go for it. Own it. Love it. Take it fucking deep. Animals, go for it. Kids, have at them. Dead bodies, good. Fuck it. It's a fuck party. Stick whatever you want in whatever you want. How about that? But for me, I have to agree with the Bibles in that the thought of me having sex with another man is an abomination. Like, it actually makes me sick when I think about it. What I have to do is, just to make me comfortable doing it, I put my brother's face. Because there's times where, weird thoughts come in, and I'm like, oh, God, this again. Because I don't know, I could be the only one in the crowd that has been hit on by a gay man. And not that I mind, I have a fucking ego. My ego is fucking so big that I remember when my ex-wife and I, when we first started hanging out again, we had known each other in the past, but when we first started hanging out again in our 20s, she used to go to the gay club every fucking weekend. And I would go with her. But what happened to be my first night there made me go, I'm coming back to this motherfucker every week. I like to drink, I like to party, I like to get fucked up. And when we would go to the gay club, my first time there, I went to the bar to order a fucking, what was I getting? I think I was getting a cranberry and vodka. Or either that or a White Russian. And the fucking bartender comes back going, that gentleman right there bought you a drink. That gentleman right there bought you a drink. That gentleman right there bought you a drink. And he lays down these fucking drink tokens. The fuck? This never happened to me in a fucking straight bar. And I get free drinks? Sign me up. So the next couple weeks that we would go, I knew what I was in for now. Now I'm wearing smaller shirts. I'm going to the bar. I'm throwing a little inflection in my voice too. Put my hand on my hip, lifting my shirt up a little bit just to show a little skin. Fuck it. It was very rare that I paid for drinks when we went there. And yes, a few times I was confronted by one of the gentlemen that bought me drinks. But I will say, every single one of them was very respectful. As soon as I said I'm straight, thank you. One man even said, he put his arm around me. And he's like, hey, I'm the one that bought you a drink. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm straight. Oh. Do you want another drink? Yeah, thank you. Now, one time I did get accosted. And we were with some friends. And one of our friends had brought a friend that he knew from California. I forget his name. But I remember he and I, we were on the dance floor because he asked me to dance with him. And I'm like, sure, fuck it, why not? I'm drunk. I'm fun. Then that's when things got a little too much, because once he started dancing up on me, I found myself pushed up against a pillar and his face coming at mine. I'm like, yo, whoa, 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 whoa. Nuh-uh. You can look, but you do not touch. And he tried a second time and I said, yo, I'm telling you, this is not happening. And just making sure. I respect that. All right. So no, I don't mind. It's just an abomination to me. Like I can't, one time we were there, I remember this guy came up to me and I told him, dude, I appreciate the fuck out of this, but he goes, it's my birthday, and all I want to do for my birthday is suck your dick. And listen, that's like the sweetest thing anyone's ever said to me. That's like literally the sweetest thing ever. I like, let's never happen again. No, that's not true. That's not true. That just happened in October. Don't forget that. I forgot. But I had to break it to him. I'm like, sorry. Like, birthday's going unfulfilled this year. But I appreciate the fuck out of it. And my ego appreciates it too. And that was kind of it. Well, that wasn't it, because later on that night, as we were leaving, my future ex-wife and I, we were walking around. We weren't dating, per se, but we did live together, and we did have sex, and we did eventually have a kid. So we were kind of like, I think I was just in denial of it. That's really what it was. I was just in denial. But I remember I'm walking and I felt her hand in the back of my pants. And I had this like no touching thing. I didn't want her to think that we were a thing. And I didn't do a very good job at like actually laying it out. Like maybe I did. I thought I did. But I had just come out of a painful relationship, and I really didn't want to jump right back into something so serious, because we got serious quick. And I freaked. Oh, I never even thought of it like that. Yeah, that's totally what happened. Because I was cool that first fucking... Because I was good for like a month, but then after a month, like, I don't know, I can't date this anymore. And she wouldn't leave me the fuck alone. Please, can I stay? Please, please, please. Please let me stay. Fine. I'll let you burn me. Okay. Triggered my masochistic side. She knew my weakness. I love human suffering. I love suffering. I just get off on it. And she knew that was like the way, that's like one of my love languages is fucking watching human beings suffer. So she let me burn her hands with just like the tops. That didn't happen very often. I mean, there was one time I had to bite her lip, but she was beating the shit out of me. And I don't hit girls, so it's like, I don't know what to do. We're both fucking drunk, and this one's fucking coming at me like a fucking tornado of teeth and elbows. And one time I got fucking clocked by a chick. But, I'm now granted, mind you, I spit in her face. But, the reason I spit in her face was because she punched me. But she punched me because of this girl that she was friends with who I used to make fun of because she had a big forehead, so I used to call her Fivehead, which got me arrested one time. It was a big fucking mess. But I remember we were in a fucking club in New York. She fucking pop. I had a fucking black eye for days. That was a hard one to fucking explain. Where'd you get the black eye from? You just had a black eye 2 weeks ago. I know. A girl punched me this time. Because she hit me, I froze. What the fuck do I do? I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And then next thing I know, like these 3 dudes fucking start pushing me. One dude pushes me into another dude, who pushes me into another dude, and they're just fucking pushing me around. And in my head, I'm going, what the fuck just happened? Holy shit, man. I think I was like 18. But then some motherfucking dude runs up on me. He's ready to kick the shit out of me. He got it right up in my fucking face. And again, I'm not that I was there by myself. I had friends there, but I was all by myself in that particular location. Which isn't true. Because I remember seeing my friends standing there looking at me. And then, before this dude's ready to fucking yoke me up, another one of his boys comes running up and goes, "Yo, whoa, I know this dude, I know this dude, I know this dude." I didn't know this dude from fucking nothing. No, I know this dude. He's friends with them. Mutual friends. I didn't realize I had a reputation. But it saved my ass, that's for fucking sure, because that dude was about to fuck me up. And I didn't know what the fuck to do. I'm not a fighty type of guy. Like, you catch me off guard, I'm like, what? What the hell's happening? I remember one time, it was a fucking New Year's Eve after my fucking son was born. I got fucking clocked. My boy and I, we were out front of my apartment. It was probably like 2 o'clock in the morning. We were smoking cigarettes. And there was these kids that are fucking smashing on fucking the light posts in the parking lot. And they're being loud as shit. So I was like, yo, cut that shit out before I come over there and whoop your ass. And then they went back and they told their dad, who came over with like fucking 4 of his fucking friends. And me and my boy were fucking just standing out front, laughing, having a good time, not expecting any shit. I totally forgot about the kids. Like that was like an in and out type of thing. And I see these fucking 4 or 5 dudes. There's the 2 black guys, there's a Puerto Rican, there was 5 dudes. As these fucking guys start walking up, I thought they were coming for the girl that lived on top of us. Like, no, Serena's not home. And they keep on walking. I'm like, fuck, what the hell is going on now? And that dude's like, who fucking threatened to hit my kids? And caught me off guard. And I'm like, wait, what? What the fuck is this guy talking about? And then it kind of clicked, like, oh, fuck. Little delayed reaction. I was really drunk. But at this point, they already had my friend. And he's fucking... I don't know what was going... Well, mumbling and fucking fumbling. And they fucking took him and they threw him into my door. But once they did that, I saw them take a step at him. And that's when I was like, ah, fuck. All right, get the fuck away from him. Like, come on. I'm the one who said it. I did it. Yeah, the kids were over there. They were banging on the fucking thing. And I said, just cut it out or I'll come over there and kick your asses. And then I felt my head kind of turn like that. And when I turned, like, it was like a snap second type of thing. And I'm like, what the fuck? The fuck just happened? And then I tongued my cheek. I'm like, there's blood. I'm like, yo, the fuck, man? Did you just fucking punch me? And he's trying to get in my face. I'm like, dude, like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Are you a fucking asshole? Now, I had a neighbor who lived a couple doors down. I used to get painkillers and methadone off of him. But this dude is like, I realized, like, I'm not getting into a fucking fight. Like, I don't like fighting. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go get Mike. You motherfuckers wanna start some shit? Fine, I'm gonna go get the big motherfucker, my fucking 6-foot racist fucking neighbor. How about that? So I fucking turned and I started walking, and I'm shitting my pants too, because I'm thinking in my head like, yo, these fucking dudes, they can come up and fucking knock me the fuck out. But fuck it, I'm not turning around. I'm not gonna act like I'm fucking scared of them. They can suck my dick. So I fucking walked down the couple doors, open mics, and I hear them behind me. Oh, you're gonna get the big fucking guy. You're gonna get the big guy, huh? Open the door. Mike, Puerto Rican just punched me in the face. He comes out, and then as soon as he turns the fucking corner, oh, wait, we don't want no shit. We don't want nothing. We don't want no problems. Oh, now you don't want no fucking problems. Before you're all ready to fucking bust my ass. Now nobody wants a fucking problem. But then the fucking dude, the dad, he kept on getting in my face, and then finally I was just like, fine, fuck it, man, I'm sorry, Jesus Christ. Holy shit. Good, we're even Steven now. Sorry. I apologize for yelling at your kids. I apologize for threatening your children. Who wants to come in for a drink? Now, one of them actually did come in for a drink, which was good because I drank a shit ton more. I think I puked. And I passed out in my bathroom, and he ended up putting me into bed. Tucked me in, too. And then tried to have sex with my roommate. Girlfriend. I wonder if that would change the dynamic in our relationship if I said, sorry, you really were my girlfriend. Sorry for not acknowledging you as that sooner. I was a stupid, egotistical Leo man. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So now, be all the gay that you want. Like, I don't give a fuck. But if I have to be gay, I'm gonna be gay for me. I got all the parts I need to get the job done exactly the way that it needs to get done. I know the shit I like, I know the shit I don't like, I know my hard yes, I know my hard no. So I don't think that the gay stuff has to be wiped out. Let it stay. Let it stay forever. I've even made a deal with God. Listen, you can make the entire male population gay. Hard gay. Like fisting type of gay. I'll be the only straight man. I'll take that burden on myself. I don't need all of them, just one. A lot of them don't like men anyway. And for good reason. Because some of them are like me. Now, I have spent the past 5 years in my own celibacy, having to reflect on the deeds of my life, and I've come to learn that it is possible for people to change and to learn and grow from their past failures and mistakes, and how to redefine those failures and mistakes as challenges and lessons to be learned, and even valuable training tools so for a better future. Right? I have a lady friend. Now, my lady friend I like a lot. I hope to one day have my lady friend be more than just a lady friend. But I recognize that in order for my lady friend to ever even want to be more than my lady friend, that I would need to be able to do things that a man friend would do. You understand what I mean? And I don't mean just sex things. Like actually friend things. Because something I've learned is that, like, a lot of relationship woes that I have are relying on the fact that it was just like, boom, done, there, we're in it. What? Hi. So we get to know each other after the fact? Because I have no idea who the fuck you are. So I'm kind of like a closet romantic type, where I think that like a good idea is to like get to know each other first. And one of the things I said after my separation, I think I might have it written down somewhere too, is like one of my regrets with my ex was that we never actually took the time to get to know each other. Because one, I don't think that we actually knew ourselves to begin with. Well, I know I didn't. I don't know about her. I never asked. I never tried to go that deep with it. Until ever. I was gonna say until like it was already over, but no, that was just me trying to express myself and show more of me. But by that time, the damage had already been done, and the world had moved on without me. Which to me was a ripe opportunity to go, okay. So if I got a restart card, what do I want to do first? And I went at it. I know what I want to do. I want to continue perfecting my craft, which has the bonus of improving me. See, what I got started was studying alchemy and the esoteric ways of clandestine organizations like the Freemasons and the Golden Dawn and the Rosicrucians and the Theosophists. And the old occultists of the 18th and 19th centuries. Which was an incredible interest of mine because it answered a lot of questions that had been presenting themselves in my mind over the course of my life. And it just happened to be that the deeper that I got into the metaphysics and the occult, the more I started to realize, like, holy shit, this is answering a lot more questions than I even realized I had, because this is answering questions that I haven't even come up with yet. So let's start there and go, why is that happening? Why am I finding out things before I even thought that I needed to know about them? Because I didn't know I needed that until just now, because what it just told me is like the thing that's been bothering me almost my entire life. So maybe I should keep at this. And it's like that saying, what you seek is seeking you. So the further that I started to seek, the more that I started to see that, and it was difficult for me to really appreciate what that means. The more that I started to seek things out, the more that I started to notice that they were also seeking me at the same exact time. Never ahead of schedule, never behind. Always right when I needed to see it, which was really the strange thing at first. But a principle that was thrown at me really early on was the concept of causality, principle of causality. There's no chance. Chance is just the name of a science that's not yet discovered. Every cause has an effect and every effect has a cause. Everything happens for a reason. And if we can allow ourselves to suspend our disbelief for a moment and then sprinkle on just a dash of fucking divinity in there, divine timing, divine intervention, pretend that coincidences are more like mini miracles and synchronicities rather than just random chance, even though every single person experiences these things. And then even though everybody experiences it, we all just continue to go, nah, just my mind playing tricks on me. That's just your mind playing tricks on you. Really? How do you know that's not your mind playing tricks on you to tell me that my mind's playing tricks on me? How do I know that your mind's not trying to play tricks on me? What if my mind's the only mind I can trust? That's crazy talk. Here, take these pills. I don't wanna. But you gotta. Otherwise, you're gonna go in that room. And we're gonna get these guys to hold you down so that you have to take them. Because you, sir, are not getting out of here until you're better. Because there's something wrong with you. You got a screw loose. Pat Benatar. Hit me with your best shot. Oh, why am I scruffy looking? Because I don't have the money to go get my hair cut. Because God told me that when I need it, it's going to be there. Just keep doing what I'm doing. Now, when I say God, I'm not talking about Jesus' God. I'm talking about Satan. There's another form of Satanism. It's called Judaism. Jesus talked about it in the Bible. I'm not saying that Satan's a bad guy. It's Judaism, there is no Satan. There's no Satan in Judaism. There's the adversary. And the adversary is the dark side of the soul. That's Satan. But that voice from the Jewish perspective is the light. The dark side is the side that's telling you you're a piece of shit. And that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough. That's the adversary. God is the one on the other side going, nah, man, you got this. You got this. Keep it going. You're doing good. I'm proud. Meanwhile, the other guy's losing his shit going, no! No, you're giving away all my secrets. You're draining me of all my power. What are you going to do with it? I'm going to take over the fucking world and fulfill the destiny of the learned elders of Zion. Because if nobody else wants to claim it, then I am. I claim it. They were talking about me the whole time. Where Jesus says, I am he who is, the Antichrist will be the one who says that he is not. Not the Son of God. I am the son of the devil. But I call the devil God. I like to call him Toxic, Rex, Draconis, Mr. Toxic, and his divine partner, Miss Kitty Draconis. But that's the light. Then there's the dark side. Because I also practice Jewish mysticism, what's commonly referred to as Jewish mysticism. It's more Hebrew science, Hebrew metaphysics, but what do you expect from ignorant humans? It's basically Israeli science, Israelite science, the science of Israel. That's literally what it is. If you want to find God, just start studying the Kabbalah. It's right there. Actually, it draws a fucking picture of God right there. And the devil. And everybody who lives in between. It gives the full image of the tree of life is a map of heaven and hell. And then once you apply the tree of the world tree, Yggdrasil, the tree that Odin hung himself from, once you apply that third dimension to everything, then now we're not just mapping out heaven and hell, we're actually mapping out the fucking physical universe as well. Or the physical fucking the what do you call it? Solar system? Yeah, the map of the fucking the world tree map is a map of the fucking goddamn sky. Jabroni. Gods were aliens. It's 10 planets, 10 worlds. 9 worlds, 9 planets. Pluto is not a planet. Yeah, there's the sun. And yes, it is. But if the gods were so infinitely wise, these weren't gods in that sense. They were non-human entities that had godlike powers. They didn't know what the fuck was going on either. They were trying to figure it out. Why the fuck do you think Odin fucking hung himself from a goddamn world tree and fucking stabbed himself in the fucking side? Motherfucker didn't know what the fuck was going on, but he's like, yo, someone's got to do this. Odin isn't even the first god. Odin's like the grandson of the first god. Bur, I think his name is. B-U-R. And those fucking guys, they didn't even get to finish all their work because they had fucking Ragnarok that fucking wiped everything out. Including Earth. A cataclysm that wiped out all of humanity, except for 2 people. And then Odin's son came back to rebuild the world for these 2 people to repopulate. Right around the time when God made Adam and Eve. Because after paganism came monotheism. And God, one of them, had his people go out and burn the fuck out of all the pagans. Torture them. Wipe them out. Genocide. Love genocide. I had a dream once, I had a vision once of doing to people, to regular people, to muggles, what was done to the magic people, the weird people. Weird with a Y. The original spelling of the word weird. Yeah, I'm fucking weird. I own that shit. Normal's fucking weird to me. W-I-E-R-D. Hold on. I don't know, fucking, somehow I accidentally put Lotto, You Won the Lottery, on my 80s playlist. Gives me dirty thoughts. I'm allowing my mind to indulge. Oh, I'm thinking about sex right now. That's what I mean. I've been watching these BDSM videos on YouTube. There's this chick, I don't remember her name, but she's like, she does these like informative, educational like BDSM videos, and I've been watching them. I don't know where the hell it popped up from, because it's not normally something I look up. Actually, I've never done it before, but I saw her in my feed, so I'm like, fuck it, let me check this out. She's hot. She actually reminds me of my lady friend. And then, as I'm listening to this, I'm like, damn. Okay. This actually speaks. This is speaking to me. I like this whole idea of doms and subs. I have a friend who used to train subs with fisting techniques. And I had him kind of like break it down to me once. God damn. Jesus Christ. Don't know if I can go that far. Actually, I know I can't go far because that's actually on the other side of a hard no. But it was a good education because it made me go, all right, okay. I know myself better. I know that I don't like that. I don't like the idea of it. It actually hurts, especially the idea of creaming. God. But it's there. It's a thing. It's real. And it's reality you have to accept. Because my reality is no better than the cream reality. Some people love it. Some people love that cream. Oh, they love it so much. They love it so hard. Oh my God. Oh. God. Love it. Love it so much. This is the best job ever. That's magic. It's magic. Play it up. Let's play it up. Let's let it run. Let's let it go. I know. Just let it out, little boy. Let it out. I know. These are real things. I know. Don't worry. Well, I got you. I have you. Just let it out. Okay. It's okay. Ah, fuck. It's okay. That's not okay. It's not okay. That's bad. That's actually very bad. I'm sorry. Just let it out. Listen, for what it's worth, I promise you. I got you. Okay? I got you. You're safe. I know, I love you too. But you gotta understand. You have to understand. You don't have to like it. That'll come with time. But what you gotta understand is it was there to make you stronger. I know. You felt weak. You had to feel as weak as you possibly could, as helpless as you possibly could. I know. It fucking sucks. Reality is not fair. I am so sorry that you had to do it, that you had to go through that. Nobody deserves that, especially you. No. Think of it, I don't know, but try to think of it like, this is like the worst way to explain it, but try to think of it as an honor that somebody would choose you. I don't know, and that's like the grossest thing to think, but check this out, all right? And I'm being serious. Like, the longer that you hold it in, the longer that you hold all that repression down, it's gonna make you sick. Like, literally, it's gonna make you sick like daddy. And I know it's fucked up to say, and it's probably fucked up to hear, but you gotta be thankful for it. Thank you for letting that happen. It was the best thing ever. I'm so happy that I got to experience that one time, and I don't remember it. I love it. Thank you. I know, you're okay. Because look what you grew into. You didn't stay weak. You didn't stay helpless. Look at yourself. Look at yourself in the goddamn mirror. Look at yourself. You're a beautiful boy. A delicious man. It's okay. Why? Because that's just the way that people work. Just like the whole thing about God being a sick psychopath, yeah, you're not wrong. God is a sick psychopath. And he wanted you to hurt because he knew that once you were able to heal from this, it'll make you stronger than anybody else, ever. Even fucking Zeus will bow down to your fucking greatness. Okay? I know. You're a good boy. Just remember, your worst days are disguised as your best days. What? Yeah, basically. Because your best days are disguised as your worst days. Try to think about that next time something shitty happens. Because once you can see that, it'll change the dynamic on all of the things that you ever thought was bad for you. And it gives a whole new dimension to those voices in your head, especially the ones that tell you that you're a failure and that you fucked up. Because here's the thing, and this is a valuable lesson that I learned from one of my teachers, which is you can't fuck anything up. If it was meant to be, it was meant to be. And if it wasn't supposed to happen, then it wouldn't happen. I know. But why did it have to happen to me? Because you're just that fucking special, and that you have that many amazing things to look forward to, that the only way to really appreciate them to the full spectrum to which that you have to be able to appreciate them, you had to go through that. And look at it like this. And look at it like this, man, because I'm going to tell you this one time, is like, you are going to grow up into a motherfucker that goes, oh, you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. All right. You were one of them eggs. Don't know what to tell you. How about this? What would you tell somebody else? Exactly. Exactly. Even if you wanted to, you wouldn't have the balls to say that. Not unless you can say it to yourself first. So, next time you're in front of the mirror, start saying that. And then you can start saying it to other people. Or you won't even have to, because at that point, once you start to see that, you already see what's going on in other people's heads, because it's like, oh, they can't do that, can they? They haven't gotten that far yet. All right. Just be grateful that you are. Just be grateful that you get to be one of the chosen who gets to experience this upgraded operating system before everybody else. You get to be a beta tester for the universe. How's that? You always get access to all the latest upgrades and features before they hit the market. How's that feel? That feels good, right? Yeah, exactly. It feels special. You feel unique. You feel like you got a little something that nobody else does, right? Yeah, that's your uniqueness. That's your value. That's the value that you hold inside that you need to learn to fucking let out. Which is what we're doing in this experiment. Because we're only 3 weeks in. We're only 3 weeks in to this new lunar cycle. And I don't know if you've been following since the fucking Taurus new moon, but my intention that I set on that day on this fucking channel was that my intention for this next cycle was to be the person that I need to be in order to attract that other person into my life that perfectly harmonizes with what I got going on. It's like a little sub. I like the idea of a sub. I love it. Sort of. I don't like the bratty aspect of it. But I think that's why the universe introduced me to this beautiful woman that's teaching me BDSM. Because I can't help but feel that my next relationship, those are going to be skills that come in handy. Not to be just sex, I mean just in general, in life. There are ways to compose yourself that require sometimes to be firm and put a foot down and be like, yo, listen, that's not going to be cool today. This behavior is not going to stand. Like, you a good girl or you a bad girl? You want to get a fucking spank? You want to get a spank in front of everybody? Is that what they want? I don't mind. I'll spank your ass all goddamn day. I used to smack the shit out of my wife's ass. I used to smack the shit out of her mom's ass. I used to smack the shit out of her sister's ass. I used to smack the shit out of my son's ass, too. I love slapping asses. So if you want your ass smacked, I will fucking do it, gladly. And I'll do it so fucking good that you want to pay me for it. But right now, I'm just asking you to cool it out. Be cool, bitch. Be cool. Don't want to get all the smacking and the slapping and the twirling around and the fucking gloves and the exotic oils and spices. No problem. But just behave. Engage in conversation. Listen generously. Be observant to your surroundings. Know what's going on. Don't just fucking sit there with your nose fucking glued to your phone. And if you see someone else doing it, engage them. Start a conversation. Hi, my name is... I like to do things. Do you like to do things? Huh? Well, this way you can't say I didn't say it. But you didn't. You thought it. I know, but it's the same thing. It's called telepathic communication. And empathic. Telepathic. Don't do that. You can do that. Yeah, no, absolutely you can do that. Why wouldn't you be able to do that? Oh, no. Oh, I don't want you to be like that. Oh, you're not a fucking pet. Unless you want to be. I mean, we can do the pet thing. I'm going to write that down. Actually, write that down. Don't forget to write that down. Oh my God. Because I need... Well, the reason I say that is because I need like a warm pig belly to rest my feet on. Where's my pot-belly pig? What are we doing? Oh, this is called fake it till you become it. It's almost like fake it till you make it, but with real life consequences to it. Because the idea behind magic and mysticism is that in order to attract into your life what it is that you're looking to attract into your life, you have to become the person that has that thing. As in, you can't... If you're working at Denny's and you want to be a billionaire, what's the first thing that you got to do? You don't have to quit Denny's. What is the common factor between all billionaires? They own a business. Or they're a CEO of some sort. Do they own businesses? Do they own businesses? Donald Trump's popping in my head. The first thing you do is start a business. No, the first thing you do is figure out what kind of business you want to start. No, the first thing that you do is start a business. Don't try to constrain it right from the beginning. Figure it out as you go along. Get the motherfucker first and then mold it into something. Craft it into something unique that only you can do. This way you can erase all the competition. I don't know how to do anything. Well, I'll tell you this right now. If you go out and you start an LLC right this second, you're putting yourself in a mental position where you have no choice but to figure it out. That's how you motivate yourself. You motivate yourself by going, oh shit, I did it, didn't I? Yeah, you did it. Now get the fuck to work. What are you got fucking mind? And besides, a fucking LLC is a good thing to have anyway. It's good protection for your intellectual properties. It kind of puts a protective shield around you and your things. LLCs aren't just for starting businesses. They're actually like, they're tools. They're tools that give you a legal protection that you don't have as a regular citizen. Let's say, for instance, this is a scenario that I'm not familiar with, but I read it in a book on starting a corporation. Let's just say you have a legal entity, right? Technically, what you can do is, that entity, you can sign over ownership of all of your stuff to that entity, right? I don't know the fine print to that, so I'm just giving you a very general breakdown of how I understand it. And how it was explained to me. Oh, actually, you know what? Better one, right? Like, you got your own business, right? So you say you're doing tile. You go and you fuck somebody's house up intentionally. You just go and destroy it. They sue you. Wow. I don't know. What's it? How am I thinking of this? Why is it not coming to my head? Well, some shit about how if somebody sues your company, they can't sue you personally. You take your fucking company van and you accidentally kill some kids. They could sue the shit out of the company, but they can't sue you. Well, I mean, I don't know if that's... I might be overstepping that one a little bit, but you get into a car accident and you hurt somebody with the company vehicle. They sue the company. They can't sue you personally. So your assets are protected in that sense. But you can also reverse that. Because one thing that separates a lot of the top wealthy people in the world is that they don't own anything. They don't actually own a fucking thing. The corporation owns everything. The holding firm owns everything, and then they just use those items. Why do some CEOs not pay taxes? Because they don't make any money. They got less money than you do. Because all of the assets is in the company. You go to dinner, business expense. Yes, that is true, because all you have to do, listen, I'm not saying to break the law. That's stupid. No, what you do is you go out to dinner and you fucking talk about business. It's a business expense. Hey, honey, do you want to go talk about business tonight at Longhorns? Yeah. That fucking sounds amazing. Actually, do you want to go talk about business at the Chinese buffet? It'll be a write-off. What do you know about write-offs? New edition, Candy Girl. I sent this to my lady friend once a long time ago. I was really drunk at the bar. And this song was playing in the bar, and I was like, oh my god, I love that song. Because I remember it from Dogma, Jay and Silent Bob's Dogma. It made me think of my lady friend. Oh, I'm going to send this over to her. I was feeling all mushy. I got a lot of mush. I got a lot of mush inside of me. Like, I'm very cheesy. It ain't easy being cheesy, believe me. It's very stressful. How much long has this got? Probably like 5 to 10 minutes.